Now's the time to spring into savings on a new Mazda at Team Mazda. Right now, get 1.9% financing on the new 24 Mazda CX-5, named the #1 compact SUV. The time to save is now on your new Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
So I think we're going to do some rebranding here on 9 News Now. Make it become the Johnny A. Talk Show.
Right here.
I think a lot more people would be interested in that, Johnny.
Standing right next to you.
I know he is. He's waiting for his entry.
Standing right next to you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Who's going to be more interested in that?
Oh, Julie Chen.
We don't have enough
Moonves.
time for me to list the talent. That
You
we
got some-
You and Diane bringing back Java Talk.
I am show prep for other shows, for other stations.
You're in high
You gotta
demand.
remember that.
Yes.
I
yeah.
am.
I know it. I know it.
You can go over here.
He's trying to let the greatness ooze on to all of us.
right here.
we're
Speaking of
trying.
weather,
Yes.
Oh, I see what you did.
You see how Lily's hands are in the shot? Inchane, come on in.
I'll do it.
speaking of weather,
He'll do it. Oh, there he is.
speaking of weather, Dr. Steve, y'all did a killer job yesterday, and it's a lot different today.
Oh, cue the Oscar music. All right, let's give you a look at what we've got. So we're smiling this morning because the news is better, although we know we still have many out there without power and very much in a recovery phase this morning. First alert radar network largely dry. We've had a few sprinkles showing up north of the interstates, but we're done with the any rain of consequence. Certainly severe weather is long gone now. Temperatures are a little bit cooler this morning, upper 50s to low 60s. Baton Rouge, Gonzales 62, New Roads checking in at 59 degrees. Plenty of clouds this morning, and that'll kind of slow the warm up. Upper 60s at noon, but sunshine returns this afternoon with highs in the mid 70s. Look at the long trail of damage from the storm system all the way from Texas and Oklahoma, now extending into Florida and Georgia. In our part of the world, wind damage most prevalent, but we did have a couple of tornadoes confirmed, an EF1 north of St. Francisville, an EF1 in Slidell. Now, the Weather Service is still kind of processing the data, so those are preliminary ratings. We'll see. And thanks to Liz Coe, I've been so busy I didn't keep up. She says there was an EF2 confirmed in Lake Charles yesterday morning, so just a nasty storm system. On top of that, we had some very heavy rainfall also in parts of the area. Look at this swath of 5 to 10 inches plus from northern Ascension Parish right across the lakes, either side of the lake, and you can see some of the big numbers that showed up. So we also had a number of flash flood warnings, even a couple of flash flood emergencies, including for the city of New Orleans yesterday. Look at that, estimating over 10 inches of rain in parts of St. Tammany Parish. But that storm system now bypassing us to the north, not done with severe weather. You can see a tornado watch parts of Georgia and Florida this morning, and in fact much of the East Coast under the gun for some storms today. But our part of the world, things trending much quieter. Again, it's kind of gloomy outside right now, but sunshine returns this afternoon. Now, one thing I did not mention, we do have a wind advisory today. Sustained winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusts in the 30s that could approach 40s, so watch out. Still a windy day ahead, but as we get into the weekend, nice weather overall. Mornings stay a little bit cooler, but the afternoons quickly return to the mid-80s. We're into the upper 80s for a number of days next week, but also right now I've got the forecast dry through at least Thursday of next week. All right, 7:06 now with an update on your Thursday morning drive. Here's John.
You know, you talk about the wind. Sometimes when there was a high wind advisory, Causeway has some restrictions on it over in the New Orleans area. They do have a wind advisory, no restrictions. Both lanes are open in both directions and all vehicles are allowed. Let's get back here in Baton Rouge and look at the 1012 merge. They jumped right back into the construction project right here at the 1012. This is a look at some of the traffic and some of the construction going on College Drive off-ramp, the new off-ramp that they're doing. And that College Drive off-ramp, that far right lane on I-10 West, backing up at the College Drive, and right beyond that, the Acadian off-ramp. Bridge traffic getting a little bit slow coming in from Port Allen. All in all, not a bad morning. Our drive times reflect this traffic coming out of Denham Springs. Not quite 30 minutes, but it's almost 30 minutes, about 25 minutes. Coming in from from Gonzales, we're at 17, and there's that 24, 25 minute with average speeds about 30 miles per hour on some stretches of that, and 5 to 6 minutes to the downtown area. Slower speeds, 45 miles per hour when you get past Acadian is the posted speed limit. 7:07, aftermath of yesterday and more details on what's going on, what's coming up. We'll give those to you in headline form with Matt and Liz after a short break on WAFB 9 News Now here on The Plus.
Hey, welcome back. It's 7:08 here on a Thursday, and Matt, as we come back here, we've moved from storm prep mode to storm recovery mode, and a lot of folks in our viewing area dealing with that today.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of take you through the what still is right now, and then we're going to get you to what is going to be happening. We got lights on here in studios, right? So, but a lot of folks don't have that power to deal with right now. They don't have any power in their part of the world. I tell you what, this is from our friends over at poweroutage.us, and this was a much brighter shade, all sorts of colors yesterday. It's getting better in the northwest and central. You can see where a lot of the issue is in our viewing area, though, still. East Feliciana, West Feliciana, Point Capee, down into EBR, over into Tangi. You still have a lot, you got hundreds of folks, thousands when you add it all up, still without power, and it could be a minute.
That's it. If you have Entergy, that's your provider in Tangi or East Baton Rouge, they're expecting power to be restored by tonight. But for our friends there in West Feliciana Parish, Demco is a majority provider there. So we're going to wait and see how long it's going to take. But the sheriff there, Brian Spillman, he says he doesn't anticipate the power to come back until this weekend. So please, folks, hang tight. If you have any medicated medicine, well, good idea to throw that away. Food, all of the stuff like that. But rest assured, Red Cross and resources are headed up to Westfield to make sure people are taken care of. Matt, you mentioned this morning, it's a lot of neighbors helping out neighbors until the time being.
And so with all that going on, right? So the power is out and not a lot can get done. School is going to be out again in these particular places. You're looking at some of that today, Westfell, Eastville, Point Capee. But for other folks, it's back to class.
That's it. You got one school in EBR, Claiborne Elementary School, that's out today. We've got a full list of closures, but as for the major district and schools and families, that's what you need to know. And if you live in those parishes, you know that you're impacted by that. Likely not going to see that come back until next week, but we're going to stay on top of that and let you know. In Baton Rouge, though, got some updates about trash pickup for you here. Obviously, with yesterday's weather, well, trash crews didn't make their way out.
No, so if you're on that Wednesday, like Saturday kind of a schedule, it's going to be the next pickup for you is going to be your next regularly scheduled day. You get the recycle and the out-of-cart trash pickup as well, and then they'll get back on track. Things just take a minute, or in this case, a couple days. You get that next regularly scheduled day. And so again, if that stuff was a Wednesday for you, you're going to have that Saturday garbage pickup, just so you know that is coming your way. So all that's going on, right? Well, some of the things got delayed and postponed. Something that needed to be talked about and needed to be attended, a forum going on in Ascension Parish, and this is important because it's all about a bond moving forward to continue to have money to build and refurbish and redo and the school facilities.
No extra cost to you, the taxpayer. This is an existing bond renewal that's going to be up on that April 27th ballot. Every day this week, look, APSB had the intention of making sure everyone in the community knows about this. If you have any questions, to Matt's point, well, the bond renewal is going to be for future projects down the line in the Ascension Parish School District. If you'd like to hear what's in store, well, today, head on out to Santa Ma's High School Cafetorium. That's there off of Highway 431. 6 p.m. that conversation is going to start. And again, this is not any additional money to you, the taxpayer in Ascension Parish. They just want to make sure schools will be able to be funded, any construction moving forward.
Did you have a cafetorium at your school?
I did not.
No?
Mine was smaller than that, so.
I like a good cafetorium.
It's a multi-purpose structure.
There
we
you go.
love that.
Smart money.
Yeah.
All right, other headlines for you this morning. Actually, they got closing arguments today going on right now. You know the name Jace Boyd on trial right now. This is the Trader Joe's deadly shooting from, this is like 4 years ago, 2020.
Yeah. Well, closing arguments are set to begin today, and the jurors must decide if the man on trial there, well, was he defending himself that night, or was he acting in cold-blooded murder? That is up for that jury to decide. Those closing arguments set to begin today. We're going to have a reporter in that courtroom following this, as we have been all week, despite all the things. We're going to let you know on later newscasts.
We were talking about this earlier. Apparently in Tangipahoa Parish, they got the world's best security videos, for security cameras. There's two stories here. We're going to rip through them here. This is great security footage right here. This is Independence. Authorities trying to figure out who was invading and possibly trying to burglarize this church.
Yeah. Look at that. You see that man clearly walk in here. You can see him running through that lobby area. So if you have an idea of who this is, it's happened in Independence there at a church. But let's also take you to Hammond, where we have some other great video of a man in no shoes, walking right over. He's actually about to climb the fence here in Hammond. Get a good shot of his face here. Almost like he's waving high as he climbs in. If you think you may know who this is off of Pumpkin Center Road there in Hammond. Yeah, take a look. That was March 15th. This was taken there. He drives a navy blue Chevy Silverado. If any of this sounds familiar, it's a call to the Tangi Crime Stoppers. It's 1-800-554-5245.
Those cameras are better than some of the ones in the studio.
Correct.
I mean, no comment.
We need to get some of those, I tell you.
No comment. Okay, so the storms that blew through yesterday, kind of moving over, Steve showed you the radar, into places like Georgia, that kind of thing. You know what's supposed to start today for the golf fans? The Masters tournament.
You think it's going to happen?
Well, delayed, I think. The first tee time's like 7 o'clock local.
Right.
And they're in the middle of it right now. Now, they may just get a lot of the showers a little further south into places like Savannah. They look like they're in the kind of the crosshairs for some big time storms. But we'll see what happens in Augusta. But round one of the Masters set to get going today. We'll see. That was always kind of a fun one. We got some locals from the area.
But it's always weather permitting, right? This time of year, you just never know what you're going to get.
Never know. Golf. Send in your stuff.
9reports.com. We'd love for you to send us your pictures. Look, this is largely why we've been able to share these stories and videos. You're telling us where to go. This is my yard. Look at that. Steve, is that a shelf cloud there?
Yeah, it is a shelf cloud. You've been paying attention. Good job.
Well, I'm trying. You've given us such knowledge after yesterday and today. It's been interesting to see how what you've been saying and forecasting, it's ending up in these pictures, and we're seeing all of this in people's yards and homes and mobile home parks there. That woman, an incredible story about if she didn't go to work, well, she would have been in the middle of that chaos and debris that ended up that's her bedroom. Hard to believe.
If you're looking for the perfect companion for family fun and adventure, or wanting to find adventure beyond the ordinary, experience all that the Toyota Tundra has to offer. Save on your new Tundra right now at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.